Now at 9, bowlers in Carthage are striking and giving back to the Carthage community. Plus, local fire departments share tips to keep your home and family safe this season. And a terrifying moment on a roller coaster where a couple helps a rider hold on and stay safe.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
With the fall back of an hour for daylight saving time, first responders give some tips to stay safe at home. This is KOAM News on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
With colder temperatures rolling in and the changing of the clock, local fire personnel want to remind folks to check their smoke alarms to safely begin heating their homes.
The main thing that we concern with life safety is going to be smoke detectors. We always recommend checking batteries and smoke detectors once a month, but whenever we do daylight savings times, we'd recommend changing those batteries, making sure they're still good.
With many people using a fireplace or a wood stove for heating, the fire department also gave tips to stay safe while doing so.
It's getting chimney time, a fireplace, wood stoves. Make sure your chimney, get it cleaned out. Make sure it's clean, that soot's not building up in there, causing chimney fires or flue fires in the future.
Reddings Mill Fire Department says that awareness is the best type of prevention, and having a plan could save you or someone else's life.
But that's really the meat and potatoes of the fire service, is trying to prevent those catastrophes or those incidents from happening. And the more that we can prevent or inform people what to do in case something happens, the better outcome for the residents it is, and also for the fire service as well.
Reporting in Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Reddings Mill Fire also says that if you use a space heater in your home, make sure things are out of range of contacting it to prevent a potential fire. The Thanksgiving spirit is starting early in Carthage with a full event that put a fun twist on giving back. Local bowlers hit the lanes today for the Win a Turkey, Give a Turkey tournament, supporting Carthage Cross Lines and Butterball's efforts to provide turkeys to families in need this holiday season. The 3-game tournament rewarded skill and generosity, with the bowler who scored the most strikes taking home a cash prize.
Well, I always enjoy events like this. I was going to bowl, but my slot got filled, so I'm just here today to mingle and answer questions, and I just enjoy the gathering like this and to get the people together. And we try to keep it low key, not a lot of money involved, but at the same time we're helping an organization here in the community.
A drawing was also held at the event for a Thanksgiving turkey. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
Temperatures today are a bit warmer than we saw the last 24 hours, but we are still getting down to the low 40s tonight and upper 30s. So we are above freezing, but it is going to be another chilly night. Mostly clear skies, though, and we have that pretty much staying very clear all week long. Very sunny skies. Temperature is warming up, so we get a gradual warm up, already getting into the upper 60s by Monday. Now, the next couple of days, we're going to be getting into the low 70s by Tuesday, upper 60s, low 70s by Wednesday, and then 70s for the rest of the week. Now, we do have a front moving in on Friday. Could bring us an isolated shower or two, but really it's just going to bring us some changes in those winds, bringing us much cooler temperatures next weekend. I'll have all those details coming up.
Lindsay, thanks. 2 riders are recounting what they say was a terrifying experience on a roller coaster in Kansas City, Missouri. Grace Smith spoke with a couple who say they helped a girl when her safety harness failed.
When we turned around and started helping her, the only thing I could think of was what if this was my daughter?
This is Chris and Cassie Evans, who say mid-ride on the Mamba, the unexpected happened.
The girl sitting behind my wife just lets out this blood-curdling scream like I've never heard before.
It's a picture that tells a horrifying story.
I assumed maybe it's her first time, whatever. And then she said, my seatbelt came undone.
I have my hands on her blades.
The couple immediately reached over to help, doing what they could to keep her inside the ride.
A pretty big gap between her and the lap bar. So at this point I'm seeing huge space, no seatbelt, and I looped my arm underneath the lap bar and I'd grabbed a hold of her wrist. My wife was pushing down on her legs.
As season ticket holders, they know the Mamba well and knew the twists and turns up ahead.
As we crested each hill, or as we started to go up to the top, I recognized that it was going to lift her out of her seat. So I kind of shifted our positions to, instead of hold her, to push down on her whole body to keep her from coming out of the seat.
It worked. The couple say they managed to keep her inside the ride until it stopped. They say they then went to report the incident.
We were assured that the ride was closed down for an inspection for the remainder of the evening by management.
A park spokesperson confirms to KCTV5 they shut the ride down immediately after the incident. A team inspected it thoroughly before reopening it later that evening. They say the Mamba has a multi-layered restraint system and operated safely since then. They also add the Mamba has, quote, undergone a comprehensive safety review, and they implemented modifications requested by the fire marshal.
My whole thought after the incident is, what if it had been somebody else in our seats? What if it was her friends? You know, they could have had a drastically different outcome.
The couple said they did not get a chance to talk with the girl after the incident, but they are trying to connect with her family. Still ahead on KOAM News, a life-changing surgery giving stroke survivors new hope and new strength. 15 million people around the globe suffer a stroke every year, according to the World Health Organization. But a new surgery is providing hope to some patients. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains how a brain implant is helping a stroke survivor regain his strength and his hope.
On Christmas Day 2023, Tommy Fellow was driving home from work when his car started veering off to the left.
I thought I just had low air and my tires were getting a flat tire, but then when I got home and tried to get out of the car, I realized that something was definitely wrong.
His family checked for signs of a stroke and then called an ambulance.
Thank goodness we did, because they took me to the hospital and I was able to get the clot busting drug within the 4 hours.
Fellow's stroke left him with no movement in his left arm or left leg, as well as numbness in his face and a heaviness in his chest. And those symptoms have stayed with him since the stroke. But that's not unusual for stroke patients, says Dr. Mark Bain.
Typically, the only real option is to undergo intensive rehab to get better. But usually at some point, that rehab will plateau and patients don't see any improvement.
The Cleveland Clinic is one of only a few sites in the U.S. pairing physical therapy with an FDA-approved brain implant surgery to help stroke survivors improve function through vagal nerve stimulation.
In our experience so far, we've implanted about 10 of these vagal nerve stimulators, and almost all of the patients have had improvement.
Months after Bain performed that surgery on Fellow, this stroke survivor says he's seeing progress every day.
Whenever I'm feeling down, I just look at where I came from and how far we've come. We have a long way to go, but that's how I keep myself encouraged.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Since every minute is crucial after a stroke, the American Stroke Association says it's important to remember that symptoms are face drooping, arm weakness, and speech difficulty, and to call 911 if you see any of these symptoms. The FDA is limiting the use of prescription fluoride supplements for children. The move follows a federal directive to reevaluate risks and benefits. The agency now advises against fluoride drops or tablets for children under 3 and for older kids who aren't at high risk for tooth decay. The FDA has warned companies not to market those products to those groups and is alerting healthcare providers of the change. Experts still stress fluoride safety and dental benefits, but say the guidance will help reduce unnecessary exposure. Snoring could be dangerous for your brain. A new study connects sleep apnea with small brain bleeds that may raise dementia risk. Researchers say the worse the apnea, the higher the likelihood of these microbleeds. Doctors are reminding patients that quality sleep is essential for brain health. If you wake up tired or your partner hears you gasping, it's time to get checked. Scientists now plan to see if treating apnea now could help prevent dementia later in life. The study was published in the journal JAMA Network Open. Health officials have long touted the mental health benefits of therapy dogs and other animals. Case in point, one group of mini cows is having a major impact in one Michigan community. Megan Daniels spoke with the owner of one miniature cow farm about the work she is doing.
On a quiet farm in Genesee County, the sounds of the country set the tone for something special. Meet the cows of Mini Mitten Acres. Fluffy, friendly, and as therapeutic as they come.
This wasn't really a plan to become a business like this, but we've decided that sharing them is pretty cool, and they get so much attention that people love coming out here. And
what started as a hobby for farm owner Mickey Shira turned into a haven, a place where people can come to relax, reconnect, and find a little peace.
We just kind of teach them about the cows, some of the other animals that we have here on the farm, let them get in, love on them. The kids really like to brush them, put different bows in their hair.
The simple act of touching and caring for an animal, healthcare experts like Dr. Christine Kivlin from Wayne State say can have a powerful effect on the brain.
It can trigger the release of oxytocin, which is a bonding hormone, and we know that that release can reduce stress and promote feelings of calm and connection.
And it's not just science. Mercedes White with Swan Hospice says those effects are easy to see. When these mini cows visit people in hospice and memory care, their presence can unlock something deeper.
We had a patient at one of the communities who actually started reminiscing about her past and living on a farm and just being able to take care of farm animals and things like that. So that brought that back to reality for her, and it was really nice to see.
Mickey says that's what makes these sweet little cows so special. Not just their size, but their spirit.
We're passionate about bringing them to the community.
Animals bring joy. You cuddle with them, it soothes you, it makes you feel like really just happy.
Proof that healing can come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes it wears a little bow.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, from struggle to support, how a Hillcrest art student is getting a helping hand and how other businesses can help too.
We definitely had a very cold morning this morning with the lows in the upper 20s. Now we go ahead and take a look. 24-hour temperature change. Now this morning, again, we were below freezing, but this afternoon we're actually 10 to even 12 degrees above where we were this time yesterday, especially out in southeastern Kansas. Now current temperatures are in the mid 40s, southeastern Kansas, upper 40s, low 50s. We're going to be in the lower 40s, upper 30s tonight for our overnight low. Not expecting really much going on tonight or through the rest of the week. Mostly clear skies tonight. You can see downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. It is a pretty mild night again, pretty average, I would say, for where we are this time of year. Now again, this morning we reached 29 degrees, so nearly 20 degrees below average, and our high today was in the upper 50s. Not too terrible. That's about average. We're not too far off. Now for the rest of the week though, we're actually going to be above average starting tomorrow. We have this high pressure system setting up over Texas, Oklahoma, even Louisiana. That brings us a lot of warm air, a lot of dry conditions as well. It's just going to keep us warm throughout the week. So again, here we are on Tuesday, a very, very wide ridge setup, and we're not seeing much in the way of a low pressure system or meandering from this jet stream. So we don't get any rain chances until Friday. So here we are Thursday evening. We have this slight low pressure system a little farther north of us, but it does bring a bit of a dip in the jet stream to where we are. That brings some rain chances where we could see a 10% chance of isolated shower or storm Friday morning. But best news is it brings winds, shifting them out of the north. We get some northerly winds following that system, bringing our temperatures down again next weekend into the 50s. Until then though, again, overnight low tonight dropping down to the low 40s, upper 30s, the high in the upper 60s, near 70 already on Monday. And then on Tuesday, overnight low dropping down to the 50s, and then the high, we're actually going to be getting into the 70s. Now, Wednesday, we do cool down again briefly, again, only into the upper 60s, but the high on Thursday, mid 70s. So we definitely are going to see some much warmer temperatures today, on 5 to 10 degrees above average all week long, Monday through Friday. Now Friday, again, we've got those isolated shower chances. Doesn't give us a chance to cool down really on Saturday, but by Sunday, those northerly winds, we cool down to the 50s, overnight lows again below freezing. So next week, very similar to what we had this weekend.
Enjoy the beautiful temperatures while we have them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, Republican candidates rally in Southwest Virginia with just days until the election. Small businesses are the backbone of San Diego's tourism economy, and now one local program is helping them thrive. We take you inside the Tourism Accelerator and meet a Hillcrest art studio benefiting from the support.
For 11 years, Studio Door has been a staple in the Hillcrest art community.
The Studio Door likes to give opportunities to artists in all different ways.
The gallery owner, Patrick Stillman, says while running a business comes with challenges,
there's a lot to handle with the slowing tourism, with the challenging economy. It can be a very lonely experience running a business.
Programs like the Tourism Accelerator help make a difference.
I just was so neighborhood focused, and it really gave me an opportunity to sort of expand my visibility in San Diego.
The program is run by the San Diego Tourism Authority, assisting small underrepresented businesses with marketing, development, mentorship, and how to navigate the tourism industry with monthly educational events.
So it's doing our part to both bring that revenue from our visitor into San Diego, but also support our local residents to make sure that they have what they need to succeed.
Teresa Cunningham says they're welcoming a new group in 2026 to participate in the program. They're looking for businesses that have a focus on environmental sustainability.
And we thought, how can we do our part to help uplift and support those businesses to grow? Just knowing it's such a big part of what makes us special, but also is good for our destination in the long term.
Stillman says anything that supports small businesses helps save small businesses.
It's really easy to let small businesses disappear and then sort of cry about it. Oh, I love that place. And there's nothing you can do once it's gone.
The deadline to apply is November 20th.
2 federal judges are ordering the Trump administration to replenish food aid benefits to tens of millions of people across the country. Friday, federal judges in Rhode Island and Massachusetts ruled the government is required to tap into billions of dollars in emergency funds to help pay for food stamp benefits. Both judges rejected the Department of Agriculture's claim that it could not use contingency funds during the shutdown. It just does away with the funding of it, says Judge John McConnell in Rhode Island. The ruling comes one day before those benefits were set to expire. Up next, new research is shaking up the dinosaur world. Why a fossil once thought to be a baby T-Rex may actually be a different species entirely. This video shows a T-Rex. The bones come from the Dueling Dinosaurs collection in North Carolina, originally believed to be a Triceratops and a young T-Rex. But after studying those fossils and more than 200 other Tyrannosaur bones, researchers say the smaller skeleton was a full-grown Nanotyrannus. The dinosaur was about 18 feet long with longer arms, unlike the T-Rex's short limbs you see here. The finding means that T-Rex research may need to be re-evaluated since data from the two species may have been mixed. The journal that the study was published in was Nature. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, Ohio approves a new redistricting map, and it's already sparking controversy why some say the process was unfair.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
In Ohio, a new congressional map is drawing sharp criticism and reshaping the state's political landscape. Friday, the Redistricting Commission approved new boundaries that strengthen Republican control. Kevin Landers reports.
Our redistricting process remains deeply flawed, lacking fairness, collaboration, and transparency that true representation demands.
Despite efforts to change the minds of the members of the Ohio Redistricting Commission,
this isn't a compromise, it's a threat.
Politicians cannot be involved in drawing district lines.
members of the public tried but failed to stop the newly drawn redistricting map from going forward, arguing it lacks fairness, collaboration, and transparency.
If you wanted to correct the maps and do the right thing, you would have 8 seats that reflected Republican views and 7 that reflected Democratic views.
In the end, the commission voted 7-0 to accept the map that gave Republicans a 12-3 advantage, up from the current 10 seats held by Republicans. The new redistricting map puts Democrat Greg Landsman's Democratic-leaning district into a slightly Republican-leaning one and makes Democratic Representative Marcy Kaptur's already Republican-tilting district more Republican. Democrat Amelia Strong Sight's district gives hers a slightly Democratic lean. Democrats say it was better than the alternative of possibly losing seats.
The options were eliminate all 3 of their members of Congress or maintain their ability to run and win in 2026. We chose to make sure that Democrats can run and win in all 3 of the targeted districts.
Republicans, aware that a referendum on the map could have delayed the process even further, say it was not a factor in having the vote now.
Both sides got some of what they want, and both sides had to give up something as well. So I think that's a good signal that we send to the state, and I think that's one of the benefits.
Well, President Trump's disapproval ratings are climbing. A new Washington Post, the president's poll says that the president's disapproval rating jumped to 59%. That level has not been seen since a week after the attack on the Capitol in January of 2021. The latest survey polled more than 1,700 adults. The poll also found that 61% see the Republican Party as out of touch with their lives. Also, 64% of those polled said Trump is going too far in trying to expand the power of the presidency. This is the last weekend for campaigning for candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general in Virginia. Liam Bridgman caught up with the Republican candidates as they campaigned in Abingdon on Saturday.
Virginia Republican Party leaders gathered in Abingdon to support the Republican ticket, including candidates for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general.
We're gonna win next Tuesday!
The ticket was confident they'll find themselves on the winning side come Tuesday, touting the state's successes under the Youngkin administration.
You hired me, you hired Winsome, you hired Glenn to turn it around.
According to the most recent poll by Roanoke College, Jason Miyares is the only Republican candidate currently leading their Democratic counterparts. On stage, Miyares spoke on the controversy surrounding his opponent, Jay Jones, and the violent text messages he sent about the then Republican House Speaker.
Those children I basically have seen and known since they were born. So has Jay Jones. These were not strangers. This is a real husband and father that he served with, that he wanted to see 2 bullets in his head.
John Reed, the Republican candidate for lieutenant governor, spoke on issues like education and the economy.
Same thing I've said no matter what town I'm in. If you send me to the Capitol, my promise to you is that I will be the reasonable man that you have been looking for.
Winsome Earl Sears, the Republican candidate for governor, again promised to reduce taxes and asked for the Southwest Virginia vote.
We need our attorney general in, yes! We need our lieutenant governor, John Reed, in, and I humbly ask you to vote for me this November.
Coming up a little later, a local teen aiming for Eagle Scout takes on a project straight out of the 1800s, and it's now bringing history to life in a big way.
It's a pretty chilly morning this morning. We were in the upper 20s, but we warmed up today. We can go ahead and take a look at our 24-hour temperature change. Nearly 12 degrees above temperatures yesterday from this time today. Now, as we continue to move through the rest of the evening, temperatures are going to drop down into the low 40s, upper 30s, so we're still in the upper 40s right now. We don't have a lot of rain chances for the next 10 days, only one day where we could see some isolated showers. And you can see downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, pretty clear mild night again tonight. Now again, our low hit about 29 degrees. That's 10 to 15 degrees below average, and our high today was about 59 degrees, so that was still below average as well, though all of that is going to change thanks to our low pressure system, or our high pressure system, excuse me, out in Texas, Oklahoma, even into Louisiana. This is pretty consistent all week long. We've just got a very wide ridge set up across the entire U.S. So really, for most of our states, we're actually going to have very mild conditions all week long. Now, not much changes until we get into the second half of the work week, where we have this low pressure system up in Canada. That does bring a bit of a dip down in the jet stream, bringing us a slight chance, maybe 10% chance to get some isolated showers and storms there Friday morning. And then that cold front actually passes us. It does bring wind shift line through the area, which is in return going to drop our temperatures down again. Until then, though, our overnight lows are going to be in the low 40s tonight, but warming up to the upper 40s, low 50s for the rest of the week. Now highs, upper 60s on Monday, 68 in Joplin, 69 out there in Nowata, 66 in Stockton. Then Tuesday morning, again, we're only getting down to the low 50s. And then for the high of the day, and even for the next couple of days, we're going to be in the upper 60s to low 70s, even a mid 70s by Thursday. You can see 73 in Joplin, 75 in Fort Smith. So it is going to be a very, very warm couple of days, well above average. Normally, again, we'd be sitting in the mid to low 60s, but throughout the entire week, all the way until next Sunday, we're actually going to be in the upper 60s to low to mid 70s. Now, overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. We won't be getting much warmer than that, but our next chance for a cool down following that front on Friday, we start to cool down a bit on Saturday,
Sure.
but Sunday, low 50s, and then our overnight low is our next chance to see temperatures below freezing.
Hey, as long as the sun stays out during the day, you know, before,
It's not too terrible.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, we take a look around the AFC West in Week 9, plus a game of football that would make even Martin Scorsese blush. Ben McLeish has the recap of the Chiefs versus the Bills thriller when we return.
Well, folks, it's that time of year. Sit back, relax, and grab some popcorn. It's time for a Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills rematch. Chiefs looking for their first regular season win over the Bills since 2020. First quarter, 3rd and 8 for Buffalo. Josh Allen fires it downfield to a wide open Dalton Kincaid, who could waltz in for the game's first points. But the Chiefs take it down to the goal line. Rashee Rice in Wildcat, he makes his way into the end zone untouched to tie this one up. They take the lead on a field goal, but the Bills are back in the red zone, and Allen hands it off to Ty Johnson, who scores easily as Buffalo takes the 4-point lead. Final minutes of the half, same score. Allen looking to punch this one in. The QB sneak, does he get it? Getting flashbacks to the AFC Championship game. They're going to take a closer look. And looking at this one, he does just get in past the goal line to put Buffalo up by 11 going into the half. Third quarter now, Bills at the goal line again. Who else? Josh Allen on the sneak. He's pushed into the end zone for his second rushing TD of the day. Bills up by 15. But fourth quarter, 4th and 1 for the Chiefs. Mahomes hands it off to Kareem Hunt, who gets the first down and the touchdown. And after a successful 2-point attempt, it's a 7-point game. But now with less than 15 seconds left, the Chiefs need a touchdown. Mahomes has time for 2 shots at the end zone. The first one is no good, batted down by the Bills. So the Chiefs are down to their last chance. Mahomes, under a lot of pressure, he throws it off of his back foot. It's short of the end zone and incomplete as the Bills get their revenge from the AFC Championship game. 28-21 the final. But let's take a look around the AFC West to see what's cooking around the division. Chargers take on the 1-win Titans at noon. First quarter, Justin Herbert looking to pass. Cody Barton picks him off and takes it to the house. The Titans take the 7-0 lead. Chargers tie it up. But on this punt, Chimere DK back to receive it, makes a few defenders miss, finds the sideline, and DK, the former Florida Gator, is going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Are the Chargers in trouble? The answer is no. Fourth quarter, Herbert takes it himself for the score as Los Angeles takes down the Titans 27-20. But let's head to Houston for the Broncos matchup with the Texans. Denver is down by 8 in the fourth quarter, but Bo Nix doing Bo Nix things. He finds R.J. Harvey for the touchdown. A 2-point conversion ties it up, and in the final seconds, Will Lutz ends this one with a 34-yard kick. The Broncos are for real. But who expected this one? The Jaguars and Raiders are in overtime. 4th and goal for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence goes over the top and in for the score, but new overtime rules means the Raiders get a chance. They score a touchdown as well, but Geno Smith and the gang opt out of the tie. They're going for the win. It's batted down, and the Jaguars escape Las Vegas with the win. But Kansas City fans, look away. After Week 9, the Chiefs still sit in 3rd place in the division, 2 games behind the first place Broncos. It's going to be an uphill battle the rest of the way, but the Chiefs do still play Denver 2 times. That'll be the decider in this season, most likely.
I think you're right, but here's the thing. We talked about this earlier. Jaguars get the win over the Raiders. That means the Jaguars now are in the playoff picture. Jaguars in the playoffs. Chiefs get kicked out with a loss today.
Yes, Chiefs fans, you guys were probably actually rooting for Jacksonville. The Raiders season's pretty much over. The Jaguars fighting for one of those playoff spots, and the Jaguars hold the tiebreaker.
Right.
So technically, the Chiefs are a game and a half behind of the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it's not a great start. When's the last time in Week 9 the Chiefs weren't even in the playoff picture?
No, we were talking about this as well too. I think it's been since like 2015 that the Chiefs have had anything close to the record that we're seeing now. If they want a chance to do anything, they really have to pick it up over these next couple weeks. They do have a bye week coming up though.
So that'll be really helpful. Most teams have already had that week of rest, so if the Kansas City Chiefs can use that to their advantage, get well rested, and start playing better football, there's still plenty of season left.
Absolutely. We'll be right back. As a 15-year-old boy from Troy, Michigan is working to keep up a family tradition, he's trying to become an Eagle Scout. And since the summer, the teen has worked to build an 1830s-style bread oven for his community. Jolie Sherman spoke with the teen, his father, and a community leader in the city.
It's really cool. It's like I built like a little part of like history.
With dreams of becoming an Eagle Scout, 15-year-old Anson Pingree wanted to do something complex.
Like I don't want to like do anything like small, or like I want it to like be like long lasting.
Pingree, who loves history, made this, an 1830s style oven for Troy's historic village.
It's really, really exciting for us.
The village's youth program director, Alex Konechny, says he's always wanted to offer what they call living history at the site.
So that's like when you go to Greenfield Village and there's people like, cooking in the buildings and stuff, right? And so I've had this vision of having, space to do those kinds of things, like, a bread oven for baking bread and things like that.
So the scout got to work. He started the project in July and spent the next 4 months building the oven from the ground up.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
A lot of time and effort, but he had his dad by his side.
I was a Boy Scout, I was an Eagle Scout. My father was an Eagle Scout. My grandfather was an Eagle Scout.
Donations from family and friends helped pay for the project, which came out to $1,300. And on Saturday, the oven was fired up for the first time as people came out to participate in a bread baking class.
So I actually have way more surface area.
The instructor wearing 1830s style clothing and following a bread recipe from that era.
I think they're going to get their hands involved in history. They'll have the ability to actually see how the yeast was made and how the yeast was utilized with the process and the techniques.
Not only did Jeff Pavlik teach the class, he's also an Eagle Scout and helped with the oven too, a project that supports Troy's historic village in a major way.
Being able to offer programs like this is how we operate. This is how we stay open and serve the community this way.
Seeing him by the oven and the big smile on his face, it just warms my heart.
Up next, the new Colleen Hoover adaptation, Regretting You, brings love, loss, and healing to the screen, and the stars say this one hits close to home. A romantic drama based on a best-selling novel was the top movie at the weekend box office. David Daniel has a preview.
Life can have a funny way of surprising you. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 18. She and my dad were high school sweethearts. My Aunt Jenny also ended up with her high school boyfriend, Jonah. I thought we would be one big happy family forever.
Family and first love are thrown for a loop in Colleen Hoover's Regretting You.
Your husband and sister were in a car accident. We did everything we could.
The tragedy raises questions with difficult answers.
Tell her the truth.
It would absolutely destroy her.
I will say I think this role is closer to who I am than maybe anything I've played before.
She's pretty different from anyone I've played probably since Marnie on Girls, and so it felt nice to kind of play someone at this stage of life and see how my real life experience of motherhood, parenting a toddler, is going to apply to portraying parenting a teenager on screen. It feels like there's this wall between her and me.
You remember that age? Everything felt so complicated.
Claire Grant!
That can't be good.
Get in the car! 1 second.
I love the script, love romance things. I knew McKenna was involved and just sounded like fun, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was both characters are so fun and it's such a sweet romance to get to portray.
Healing other relationships takes more time.
There's a lot I wish I'd done differently, but I'll never spend 1 second regretting you.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, that's been our time for tonight. We hope you enjoyed that extra hour of sleep that you've got. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Find out what you're thankful for. Let us know. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.